Hello everyone, welcome to Infra Experts. Today is the fourth session on Terraform on AWS. Till now, what all we have seen? We have seen the Terraform Fundamentals, which includes commands, language, settings, providers, resources, variables, data sources, and meta arguments. So, in these, we have seen the Terraform command basics, which includes the Terraform init commands, Terraform validate, plan, apply, and destroy. Also, we have seen the Terraform language basics, which includes blocks, arguments, attributes, identifiers, comments. We have also seen how to create an EC2 instance with the Terraform core commands using the Terraform settings block and the Terraform resource and provider blocks, and how to create the EC2 instance in the AWS cloud interface. Also, we have seen how to create an EC2 instance with a variable block. We have also seen that these top level blocks, which are Terraform settings block, provider block, resource block, input variables block, output values block, local values block, data sources block, and modules block. And likewise, we have implemented the practical session also. So in our previous session, means in the third session, we practically saw how to dynamically get the latest AMI ID from AWS using Terraform Datasource Concept and then create the EC2 instance. And also we took VPC, SSH and VPC security group which were created and which were used to access the EC2 instances. We also saw in the previous lecture about the Terraform output values, how to get the public IP and the public DNS for our EC2 created EC2 instances. So here we will learn about Terraform meta argument count, Terraform lists and maps, which will be lists with strings and maps also with string, Terraform for loop commands, which will be for loop with list, for loop with map, and for loop with map advanced. So what does this for loop with map and map advanced mean? The output of the for loop user, you can generate a list, map, or with map advanced mode. These we will be seeing in here. Then we will be seeing the splat operators. Legacy splat operator, which starts with is a star operator. Generalized splat operator, which is the latest one, which is used right now. The legacy will be decommissioned soon. And we will also understand about the generic splat expression when dealing with count meta argument and multiple output values. So let us go to our Visual Studio Code and learn more about it. Before moving into our Visual Studio Code, I would like to let you know that we'll be using the same configuration files which were used in our previous session. So in that, we won't be modifying and making any changes in this versions.tf. Okay, and we will just be copying this versions.tf to our fourth session. For variables.tf, if you see, we will be making some changes in here. EC2 security groups and AMI data source, there won't be any changes in here, and EC2 instance and outputs, here we will be making the changes. So there in general there won't be any changes in versions.tf, EC2 security groups, and AMI data source configuration file. So let us move to our Visual Code Studio Code now. So here we are. Let me make a file directory, working directory. So this is it, and from here, let me copy these. Also, I need to copy the key, right? So I have copied this in here. Now, as I said, we won't be making any changes to our versions.tf file. And in variables.tf, if you see here, we have three variables defined. One is AWS region, AWS EC2 instance type, and AWS EC2 instance key pair. In addition to that, we are going to define a variable on instance type whose type is going to be toList in variables.tf, and one more instance type we will define with instance type as map. So these two we are going to define in and use Terraform plan to test. So in here, let me define the instance type list, AWS EC2 instance type list. The variable being, I can give it as any name, but I am giving the name as instance type list. Okay. And in here, let me give the description as EC2 instance type, and the type equals to list string. So you are going to have a list of strings, and let me give the default in list. You know that list comes in square brackets. You can do a default and provide the list in here, and when you are defining the list, make sure it's in square brackets as we already saw earlier. And in here, let me give the values as t2.micro and also one more, which is t2.small. So now once we define this, we will reference this and we will see in the next steps inside the EC2 instance Terraform resource what we need to do. And in the same way, let us define one more variable with instance type as map. So let me just copy it and paste it in here. Let me give the name as map and instance type map. Description, let it be the same, and the type in here, it is going to be a map of string, and the default in here map needs to be in flower braces. So let me delete this, and in here under flower braces, let me give the name as Dev. Okay, for Dev it should be t2.micro. Fine. And for UAT it should be t2.small, and for prod it should be t2.medium. So this is what we are going to define in here. You can put any values you want. For me, I have kept these instance types as T2 micro, T2 small and T2 medium. And now in EC2 security groups and AMI data source, in these two, as I told earlier, I won't be making any changes. Now let's check EC2 instance. Let me save it first. In EC2 instance, first thing what we need to do is, let me just hash this out and get the new instance type, and the new instance type being instance type, let me just copy it in from here, var dot, and how we are going to reference the existing variables from our list or map, we are going to see in here. So the list we are going to get from here is from this variables instance type list. Okay, let me just copy it and paste it in here, and then let me give it as 1. So here 1 is taken from variables.tf from here. Okay, and the default is t2.micro and t2.small. Okay, so in here t2.micro is 0, t2.small is 1. Similarly, if you put another one t2.medium, that will be 2. So I'm giving here the instance type list is 1, which means it is taking t2.micro. Okay, similarly for your map variables, how will you do it? Here I'll just commenting it out, but for showing you I'm just giving it var.instance type, it was instance type underscore map, instance underscore type underscore map, like this it was, right? And in here this will be in here I need to give the name as prod. So for map we are providing the value here. The value is t2.medium, but what is this? This is the key. So here prod is the key and t2.medium is the value. So we are giving the key in here. Next, one more thing which we are supposed to do here is count. If you remember, count is nothing but a meta argument which is not your original resource parameter or resource argument of your AWS instance. There are some additional meta arguments present in Terraform like count, for each, and some more which would change the behavior of your resource. So in here, if after this I give count equals to 5. So with AWS instance resource type, it creates 5 instances of this resource. Okay, so 5 instances of this resource will be created. If count feature is not there, then to provision these 5 EC2 instances, you need to copy this resource 5 times and then change the local name my EC2 VM always to get 5 instances of this resource. Now this count should also have a count.index. Like if count equals to 5, then count.index should be starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 like this. So it starts from 0. So I need to mention this also. But since we are running out of, means it will be much more, we are going ahead with the free tier version. So I'll make this count equals to 2. And let me just hash this one out. And in here, I need to give the tag where count demo is. Now I want my EC2 instance name tag should have this count.index, right? So I will be doing count.index. So in the name tag, it will be coming as count, my tag name as count demo 0, 1, 2, 3, like that it will be coming. I hope you are getting my point. Now let me just save this. So this is saved. Now let us configure outputs.tf. So in here, as part of this, we are going to implement for loop with list, for loop with map, for loop with map advanced, legacy splat operator, and latest generalized splat operator. So these will be providing the output in here. Okay. So let me just delete this since it's the output file. And in here, the first one will be output. Let me just make a comment, for loop with list. Okay. So it is easy to implement for loops for learning in the output, so that whatever the output we get, we will be able to immediately verify. Okay. So output for underscore output underscore list. So we are going to output something called list output using the for loops inside this output. Let me give that description first. For loop with list. Now I need to define the value for this output, and since this is list, I need to define like this. So this should be in square brackets, as I said. Any list is going to be in square brackets, and this instance for instance, this instance in this can be written as xyz or something else also. So here what I need to do, AWS underscore, from here I need to take this, my EC2 VM, then, and in map, in here, for instance in AWS dot EC2 my EC2 VM, and in here we are given instance.id, which is this. So map means key value pair. So you are only providing the value, but where is the key? So key you can give anything, any other attribute from AWS underscore instance.myEC2 VM. So here
instance.id is the key and instance.public_DNS is the value. So next is map with loop advanced, with for loop with map advanced. In here C, for C, here C means each count number, which is nothing but you can say count.index. Okay. So there will be many ways in which you can implement these for loops and lots of functions available to use them from Terraform perspective. Next comes this splat operator. In here, splat operator, we are taking the value as AWS underscore instance dot myec2 dot vm dot public DNS. If you take this much AWS dot instance dot myec2 vm public DNS, this will be giving us just one EC2 instances output, but we need the output for our multiple EC2 instances which we are launching. So for that we are using this splat operator, which is dot star dot, which is the legacy splat operator, but this will be decommissioned soon. So for that Terraform has come up with the latest generalized splat operator, where this one my EC2 VM and this one, for this respective resource, this is the local name and it is going to create multiple instances using count. For that purpose they made it my EC2 VM, and then in square brackets the star is provided.
Our command prompt, and in here let us go to here, and now we will be executing the Terraform commands and understand our observations. Let us see whether everything is fine or not. So I do have some error in my EC2 instance.tf line number 5. Let's go in there. Okay, I missed to hash this out. So that was the issue. Yes, this is a copy paste issue. This should be 2. As you can see, for output mat and for output mat, there were twice it was mentioned. That's why it came duplicate output definition. So right now it is initializing and Terraform init command is run right now. Once this is done, we will be validating. So this is done. Let us validate our configuration. So this won't take much time to validate. So this is validated. Now let us proceed with Terraform plan and check the execution plan in here. So as you can see in here, it generated some plans and there are 4 resources that will be created likewise. So why this is 4 resources? As if you have gone through my previous session and also this session properly, then you will be able to answer the query. This is because I gave the count as 2, right? So count as 2, which means it will be creating 2 EC2 instances. So this is 1. As I said, 0, it starts from 0 the count. So this is 0 and the next it is 1. So this is the second EC2 instance. Similarly, it will be creating our EC2 security groups, our security group for SSH and also for web. That's why it is coming here as 4. And changes to output for output list, for output map, for output map 2, everything, latest splat operator, the legacy splat operator, everything will be coming after our instances have been configured. So let me just run Terraform apply and I will pause the video until this completes. So you can see that 4 resources have been added. Now let us go in here in our management console and you can see that 4 resources have been added, and you can see count demo 1, 0 and 1. So this is the first EC2 instance and this is the second EC2 instance. From tag also you can see the name count demo 0 and for this the count demo as 1, and this is taken t2.small. Why is it taking t2 dot small? Because if you can see in here, I gave it 1. The list as instance type as 1. And if you go ahead with your variables block, you can see here this is 0 and this is 1. So my 1 is t2 dot small. That's why it took this instance type as t2 dot small. Fine. Now let's review the outputs. So in here in output list, it is coming as EC2 8. This is the DNS. This is the DNS. Okay, I will just minimize it, which would be better for you to understand. See in here. From here also we can see. See 30. It's in starting with I and 30. So it is coming like this. And for this 30, the DNS is 322.245 and the other DNS is 135. Similarly 0, 1 like that this it is coming, and for Splat Operators also it is coming. So we are fine with this. Our resources creation is successful. So till now what we have learned, let us just destroy it meanwhile and give this as auto approve. So till now what we have learned about the variables related to lists and maps, the meta argument, for loops and Splat operator section. So in our next section we will be seeing about for each meta argument, two set function, two map function and data source availability zones, how to configure them. So I hope you have liked the session. Please do comment and let us know your feedback. Thanks for watching the session. Take care. Please do like, share and subscribe. Take care.